You won't believe what happened to her. It all started when John's ex-girlfriend, Rachel, suddenly stopped responding to his messages. At first, he thought she was just busy or needed some space, but as the days went by, he became increasingly worried. He tried calling her, but her phone went straight to voicemail. He messaged her family and friends, but they hadn't heard from her either. John's mind was filled with questions and worst-case scenarios. Days turned into weeks, and there was still no sign of Rachel. John couldn't shake the feeling that something terrible had happened to her. He started digging deeper into her past, hoping to find a clue that would lead him to her. As he searched through Rachel's social media profiles, he found some disturbing messages from an unknown person. They seemed to be obsessed with Rachel and had sent her countless messages, some of which were threatening in nature. John knew he had to find this person and confront them. He started investigating, tracing the IP addresses of the messages back to a small town in the middle of nowhere. He drove there alone, determined to find Rachel and get to the bottom of this mystery. When he arrived in the town, he found an old abandoned house that seemed to have been recently inhabited. He cautiously made his way inside, his heart racing with fear. The interior of the house was dark and foreboding, with peeling wallpaper and creaking floorboards. Suddenly, he heard a faint whisper coming from the shadows. He froze in terror as a figure emerged, slowly walking towards him. It was Rachel, but she looked different. Her hair was matted and her skin was pale, and she was muttering incoherently. John tried to approach her, but she backed away, her eyes filled with fear. As he got closer, he saw that she was covered in bruises and scratches. It was clear that she had been held captive for weeks, if not months. Rachel's captor was nowhere to be found, but John knew he had to get her out of there. He called the police, and they arrived on the scene shortly after. Rachel was taken to the hospital, where she received treatment for her injuries and was reunited with her family and friends. The mystery of her disappearance was finally solved, but the trauma of what she had been through would stay with her for a long time to come. John never forgot the horror of finding his ex-girlfriend in that abandoned house, and it haunted him for the rest of his life.